just dropped a couple of Zoom, or not Zoom, Facebook Live connections in the chat box for anyone who's interested. I'm also doing a presentation on forest therapy and health benefits, really in depth forest therapy and health benefits of spending time in nature on Friday night as part of the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center Speakers Series.
Wow.
And so the connections that I just dropped, so that's long, like a whole 40 minutes just on all of the scientific background between why we feel healthy when we're outdoors spending time in nature, and then also more in-depth information on forest therapy and forest bathing. And so those links are in the chat box now if you want to copy those down, and if you're interested in joining us on Friday night. If you're here in Alaska, it's Friday night, 7 o'clock Alaska time, and then the Q&A, the talk is about 40 or 45 minutes, and then the Q&A is right after that.
Wonderful. Thanks, Linda.
So that's just a little extra bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know that we have a lot more people who were planning on attending, but it is 5 minutes after, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I want to welcome everybody, let you know that this session is being recorded. And to kick off, I'm Jane Andreen. Myself and Linda Kruger, who is here, are the co-chairs of the Juneau AARP Community Action Team. And just a little bit of background on AARP and the Juneau Community Action Team. I don't know how many people know this, but I'm really excited everybody could join us today. AARP is a national organization that was initially started as the National Retired Teachers Association in 1947. A woman by the name of Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus discovered a retired teacher who was so poor that she was living in a chicken coop. That was all she could afford. And so Dr. Andrus decided to do something about that and started to really advocate for health insurance and retirement packages for teachers. That then morphed into, in 1958, the larger AARP as we know it now. Now, it used to be the American Association of Retired Persons. They've actually dropped that moniker because so much of what they have to offer is applicable to people across the lifespan, but they just go by AARP now. So just so you know that. The national office has a wide range of services and information and whatnot for people to tap into. You don't have to be a member to do that. I encourage you to check out their website. They also have state offices in each state office that is there then for focusing on what the needs are for people as they age through the lifespan. At the state level, and then they go ahead and support local efforts. And the Juneau Community Action Team, I don't even know how long we've been in existence. It's been quite a while. And it has kind of grown and then shrunk a little bit and then grown again. You maybe saw us at a lot of community events. We had tables, information tables, and provided a lot of information about a wide range of topic areas over the years. But then once COVID hit, we decided to really step back and sort of look at what can we do to help sustain and build people's understanding of aging, what elders bring to the table, and how we can help ourselves be more successful in our healthy aging. That said, we identified 2 goals, and the second one is the one that we're seeing just start off today. And that is that we are bringing information on a regular basis about topics that are really pertinent to people living in Juneau as well as seniors in particular. So this is our first one, and I'm so excited that everybody could be here. I'm going to ask that you mute yourselves if possible. And then what I would suggest is that you change your view from a gallery view to a speaker view, because we do have speakers today. That way then you'll be able to see the speaker as they are presenting. A little bit of more information, or to let you know, Aimee Bibb was going to be talking today about behavioral health, mental health. And unfortunately, as a mental health clinician, something came up and she's not able to join us. But we're going to be filling in some of the information she would have provided. We have two other speakers today, Linda Kruger. And Linda loves living in Juneau and helping people get moving and stay moving outdoors and in the pool. She is a state and federal retiree and is a current CBJ part-time employee who would mostly rather be outdoors, except for yesterday when she spent the day shoveling the snow. She is certified in active aging, nature, and forest therapy and has many aquatic exercise therapy and rehab certifications. Our other speaker today is Kathy Washburn. She is a health and exercise specialist and a certified personal trainer. She specializes in anatomy and functional movement, senior exercise, and balance training. All of these specialties tie in beautifully and enhance Kathy's Tai Chi for arthritis and fall preventions 1 and 2, and seated Tai Chi instruction certifications. So I'm so grateful that you are all here and that we can listen to Kathy and Linda. Now, I want encourage you to use the chat box. We will have plenty of time for discussion and for people to participate. So if you have questions while someone is speaking, go ahead and put that in the chat box and then be prepared to join in conversation as we talk about how we are maintaining and sustaining our health and well-being during these crazy times. I am going to kick us off with a little video that I came across this morning that's from the Department of Health and Human Services, and it's about maintaining your health and well-being during COVID. So let me pull this up.
We don't have any sound, Jane.
Son of a gun. Too bad. It's really good.
Well, we can just read it, read the text.
Okay. I'm so sorry you couldn't hear that because it had lovely music, but he did give us the key points of what we should be focused on. I think the main thing to recognize is that You need to be monitoring yourselves and the loved ones around you. Are you experiencing a mix of emotions, changes in your sleep patterns, fear or worry about your own health and the health of your loved ones, difficulty sleeping and concentrating, the worsening of your chronic health problems? I know this can be really pertinent, especially as people are spending less time going to the doctor, monitoring their chronic health problems, as well as being able to do the things that they need to do to sustain their health. And then increase of use of alcohol, tobacco, or drugs. When it comes to seniors, I think it's especially difficult, but the best things we can do as seniors and with our older loved ones is to stay connected, to combat that loneliness and that social isolation. Excuse me, just a little bit of my story. My father passed away last September, and mom has now been diagnosed with moderate cognitive decline. So we have been really working with her and surrounding her, making sure someone was there. I just got back from 2 months spending with her while we put together a plan. And one of the things that really struck me here, this woman has lost her husband of 66 years. She's lost her driver's license. She can't get together with any of her friends. She can't go to church. And she has just her children and her brother around her, which we've all been surrounding her with love. But that said, I recognized about a month into my most recent stay that there was one very good friend in particular that she needed to connect with. And so we set it up for this woman to come for coffee once a week, to be there with mom, to sit with her. Fortunately, now they've both been vaccinated. So this is going to really change sort of the scope of her life. But for me, it was a matter of really balancing out how safe is it and how important is it to maintain that mental health. Another thing that we have done as a family is we Zoom once a week on Sundays, and sometimes my niece in Colorado joins us, and sometimes my nephew in Minnesota joins us. But it's really a great way. Sometimes it's a half hour, sometimes we're on for an hour, but we stay connected. I also have 2 social groups that get together every week. There's a breakfast group, and then there is a group of women that we just make sure that whoever's available, we get together on Zoom, we talk, we laugh, we cry if need be. But that has been a really important safety valve for me. There are a number of resources that are online that I encourage you to check out. All you have to do is Google mental health, maintaining mental health in COVID, and find just a real wealth of information. I really like the information that's being provided by AARP, as well as the Department of Health and Human Services. So, any questions or comments at this point? And then I'm going to turn it over to Linda. All right, Linda, you want to take it away?
I'm ready. Let's get going with the slides. And so I have a PowerPoint, and as was mentioned earlier, I'll probably read a lot of it because I have it, don't have it all memorized, and I don't want to make sure not to leave anything out. And this just provides the title and my information. And Jane, you can go to the next slide. So by 2050, the older adult population, that's most of us, is estimated to reach 22% of the world's total. And we know that here in Alaska and in the United States, we're an aging population. We also know that older people generally experience higher levels of chronic illness, disability, and complex health problems. All of this is irregardless of COVID coming on the scene. By 2030, US adults over 65 will increase to about 71 million people, representing 20% of the nation's population in the United States. Closer to home, for those of us in Alaska, the Alaska State Plan for Senior Services, that was the last one that I saw, was updated in 2019, determined that the population of seniors age 60 and older in Alaska has increased by approximately 20,000 people just since 2015. And the trend will continue through 2025 when Alaska's senior population, 60 and older, will again increase by 22,000 to reach a projected peak of 140,000 people, 60 and older. People are living longer, and the numbers of seniors with dementia, chronic health conditions, disabilities, and behavioral health needs are also increasing proportionately. The population over 80 and older, who often require the most support to live independently, will almost triple in the next 30 years. In her best-selling book, Disrupt Aging, Joanne, which I highly recommend, Joanne Jenkins, the CEO of AARP, wrote, and I quote, "We need to begin to focus on physical and mental fitness instead of diminishment, on preventing disease and improving well-being instead of just treating ailments. We need to help people feel empowered to become an active partner in their healthcare instead of being a dependent patient." And I agree with this 100%. In my work as a researcher with the Forest Service, working on health benefits of spending time in nature, I called this working upstream, helping people find ways to stay healthy and keep them out of the healthcare system. And there's so many ways that we can take the reins and help keep ourselves healthy. So finding ways to support a high quality of life for seniors and elders helps them to avoid pain and suffering and all the costs associated with preventable circumstances such as falls, poor nutrition, or inactivity. For many of us, I'm sure some of you have been afflicted by some of these things too, with COVID, being sidetracked by COVID and catastrophizing and thinking of, oh my gosh, how bad things are and how bad things are going to be, and rumination and being fixated on certain things and not being able to maintain a focus on the positive, magnification, blowing things out of proportion, maybe helplessness and anxiety, stress, and maybe even depression. We know that many people were living with compromising medical conditions, both psychological and physical, prior to COVID, and COVID has amplified them. The shutdown of public spaces and social gatherings that has kept us at home or in small bubbles has had negative impacts on our social, cultural, and physical activities. Many of us are suffering from pandemic exhaustion and/or what has been termed coronaphobia, fear of contracting the virus. And hopefully with getting vaccines, we'll be able to block that one off and we won't have coronaphobia much anymore. So I'll be covering steps that we can each take to improve our mental and physical health and well-being during these challenging and stressful times. And a lot of my professional work had involved climate change. And while we can kind of get a handle on COVID and maybe move beyond COVID, we're not going to move beyond climate change very quickly. And climate anxiety is also something that has really stricken people. And here in Alaska, I worked with a lot of tribes across the state. And one of the things that they would tell me is one of the concerns they had was the unpredictability. They couldn't predict what was going to happen with the weather and with the climate. And that's something that won't go away. That's going to continue. And so the kinds of things that I'm talking about today, we can put into use not only in times of COVID, but as well in times of climate change. But basically what we want to do is build up our personal and family resilience so that we can cope with whatever comes our way. Jane, you can go to the next slide. So the focus of my talk is to provide ideas for maintaining and improving your sense of well-being, your physical and mental health through movement. So I'm going to cover first moving in your chair or at your desk, which I assume all of us on this Zoom have been spending more time than usual in a chair at a desk. Moving in the swimming pool, both for aerobics and fitness and for therapy, recovery, and wellness. Moving outdoors, walking, biking, running, just being outdoors on our amazing trails and bike paths. And for moving slowly and mindfully in nature or doing forest therapy. Participating in any of these activities provides multiple benefits for mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And like Albert Einstein said, quote, life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance, you must keep moving. Next slide. So move in your chair or at your desk. So this is an important one. As you're sitting at your desk, whether you're on the computer, on a Zoom meeting, watching television, whatever you're doing, find a way to move every 10 minutes for every hour that you sit. At a minimum, do some simple stretches, reach over your head, reach out in front or to the side, stand up and walk around for a couple minutes, get a glass of water. An alternative is to stand and just shake your body all over, or shrug your shoulders, or raise your arms, move your head up and down and look side to side and up and down. If you're standing, stand up and stand up on your tiptoes. Stretch your back up tall as you reach up and then reach for the floor. Twist at your waist, move side to side. You can do this sitting or standing. Turn side to side and reach across with one hand to one side and the other side. Give yourself a big hug. You deserve a big hug. Do a head to toe body scan as you incorporate moving every part of your body before you sit down. Move your toes in your socks or your slippers or your shoes, like you're trying to pick up a pencil with your toes. And then rotate your ankles around. Get those ankles moving. Make it fun. Just see what you can move. See what part of your body you haven't moved for a while and move it. Next slide. So if you have a pool, here in Juneau, we're blessed with 2 wonderful swimming pools, and I hope you've had a chance to enjoy them. They were closed for a while, but they've been open now. We still can't do group activities, although I've heard rumors that group activities will start up again in April, so that'll be nice. Prior to COVID, I taught a deep water aerobics class 2 nights a week. Moving in water has many benefits, and I'll say that since the pools have reopened, I can't do my classes in the evening anymore, but I'm personally going down to the pool every morning, and I'm a morning person, so I'm down there at 5:30 a.m. Moving in the water, just moving in the shallow water in all different kinds of ways that I can think to move in the water. Moving in water has many benefits. The viscosity of the water results in drag and resistance as you move through it, especially if you wear water gloves and wear water shoes or use noodles or other flotation devices. The hydrostatic pressure, which is the pressure the water exerts on your body, increases as the water gets deeper. This benefits include decreased swelling, and the pressure helps condition respiratory muscles and helps move waste products out of your cells. So it has a lot of benefits, just being in the water. It also helps with proprioception, which is knowing where parts of your body are as you move. Okay, I know my right hand is over here without looking. I can tell it's there. Proprioception allows me to know where my hands and feet are, which is important when you're walking and moving. The buoyancy of the water also means you can walk and move in shallow water with much less impact on your joints. And actually, that's what drew me to moving in the pool. I've had knee replacements and hip replacements, and the buoyancy in the water means that I can move around without impacting my joints. Next slide. Walking on land. So you don't want to go to the pool. Some people aren't pool people. The simplest walk is just going right outside your door or in a nearby park or on a trail. It doesn't have to be aerobic. You don't have to walk fast. You don't have to be a race walker or walk fast for it to be beneficial. Just like the stretches from your chair, moving your body while walking slowly has many physical and mental benefits. It may even help you sleep better, and it improves your immune system. So walk alone or with family or friends in your bubble. We're extremely fortunate here in Juneau to have what seem like unlimited trail opportunities. There are trails close by most neighborhoods, and enjoy a familiar trail near home or explore a trail new to you. We have several books on Juneau trails, or you can check the All Trails app for ideas. And if you're outside of Juneau, there are trails apps. In fact, I think All Trails covers trails across the country. So just check out the trails in your area. Dress for the weather conditions and take water if you're going for an extended walk. And here in Juneau or someplace where we've still got a little bit of ice and slipperiness, make sure you wear those grippers on the bottom of your feet so you don't go for an unexpected slide. Next, and speaking of slides, next slide, Jane. It shouldn't surprise any of us that people who walk 15 to 30 minutes a day are healthier than those who don't get out and walk. They have fewer diseases, are less likely to get cancer, have a lower risk of heart attack and stroke, and have better bone density. Walking strengthens lung and heart health, burns calories, lowers blood sugar, is safe for joints, boosts immune system function, improves energy levels and enhances mood and builds strength, improves digestion and decreases risk of intestinal cancer, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes, and reduces insulin dependency of diabetics. Walking recalibrates energy and fat storage so that the body becomes more efficient and trimmer. This is just by walking. I'm not talking about going out and, race walking or anything like that, just walking. It contributes to non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, N-E-A-T. And that's been found to increase daily energy expenditures by 2/3, resulting in less fat gain. Walking helps the kidneys, the lymphatic system, maintains joints, and diminishes some types of arthritis. Research at Duke University in 1999 found that a brisk 30-minute walk 30 times a week was more effective in reducing depression symptoms than Zoloft, and walkers were less likely to have a recurrence of depression. A health and wellness story in the Wall Street Journal back in February suggests that 2 hours in nature may become the new 10,000 steps. The story quotes Drushan Daly, who's a professor at Stanford University, quote, "A 45-minute walk in nature can make a world of difference to mood, creativity, and ability to use your working memory." So next slide, please. So you can also walk fast or run if you want to be a little more energetic. Here in Juneau, you can check out the Juneau Trail and Roadrunners Club on Facebook or at jtrr.org. I've been walking with JTRR for many years. And I say walking, I've had 3 knee replacements and 2 hip replacements. And so running is very long in my distant past, but I love to walk. And so I get out and walk with this group. The group sponsors several races a month, and it's a great way to get together with people around the community. Our races for the past year have been virtual. And so instead of having a race at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, somewhere on a local trail, we've had a whole week to pick the best weather and get out and do a race. So I'm a JTRR fan. During COVID, many lower 48 races have also gone virtual, which means we were able to do the San Diego Half Marathon and several other races right here in Juneau. 7 years ago, my partner Jeff and I started doing a half marathon a month so that we'd never be out of shape before the next one rolled around. So it wasn't going to be a big, oh my gosh, a half marathon. He runs and I walk. It's been a fun way to see and experience different communities around the country, and we hope to continue that again once the COVID threat lifts. We were competing in a half marathon in San Antonio in early March and just made it home before everything shut down. And the remainder of our 2020 half marathons were all done as virtual races here in Juneau. But so there's lots of opportunities, and if you're not in Juneau, check out your local running, walking clubs. There's all kinds of groups around to get out and move with. Okay, next slide. So that takes me from fast walking and running to mindful time spent in nature, slowing down and just getting out and being present in nature. Studies of nearby nature for benefits for older adults have shown multiple positive health and wellness benefits, including improved quality of life and the reduced need for medications, medical treatment, and therapy. Access to nature is being shown to reduce costs and improve quality of life for people of all ages, especially older people, but think about your children, grandchildren, neighbors. Think about getting other people out in nature with you, because these benefits are good for all ages. In 1984, E.O. Wilson brought to the world's attention the importance of nature and coined the term biophilia, or love of life. And more recently, research has shown that spending time in nature, as little as 15 minutes, lowers blood pressure, pulse and heart rate, and cortisol levels, the stress hormone levels, increases concentration and focus, reduces depression and anxiety, increases pain tolerance and recovery from surgery, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, and improves sleep and immune system function. And what's not to like about all of that? Just tell me what. Next slide, Jane. So you might have heard of Shinrin-yoku. Shinrin-yoku started in Japan, was launched as a program in Japan in the early 80s. And in 2004, they started formal research studies of the relationship between spending time in forests and human health. And the Japanese now have spent millions of dollars studying the benefits of spending time in nature, specifically what they've called Shinrin-yoku, and what we've translated to mean forest bathing or forest therapy. Some of the benefits come from the tranquility of spending time in the forest. Other benefits come from phytoncides, which are essential oils produced by trees as a defense against pests. And fortunately, that defense against pests is really good for our brains. These airborne organic compounds have antibacterial and antifungal properties when inhaled. Our bodies respond by boosting the number of natural killer cells, or NK cells, and anti-cancer proteins. NK cells attack infections and guard against tumors. In 2010, researchers found that increased NK activities lasted more than 30 days after a forest bathing activity. So what happens in Japan, people will go out for a 4-hour experience in the forest, or even a weekend in a cabin. And they have, I don't know how many they have now, but they have wellness forest stations throughout the country, throughout Japan, for people to go out and spend time in nature. And I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but they would monitor people, and they'd take saliva samples and blood samples and check your pulse and your blood pressure before you went out into the forest. And then once you spent your time, your tranquil time, peaceful time, walking through the forest and being with nature, they would test all those things again. And so they have oodles of research now about what happens to our bodies and our brains after we've spent some quiet, peaceful time out in nature. Next slide, Jane. So some of these benefits, as I mentioned, come from phytoncides, which are these chemicals that the trees release. And they've identified that these increase NK killer cells, as I mentioned, and anti-cancer protein activity. They boost immune system function, especially, thinking about COVID. I was just thinking about all the time I spent walking in the forest and walking out in nature, and that being a boost to my immune system. Decreased levels of stress hormones, increased hours of sleep and quality of sleep, decreased tension, anxiety, anger, hostility, fatigue, and confusion. And we can all use a decrease in all those things, I think. Improved mental clarity and mood and feelings of well-being, lower blood pressure and heart rate, increased heart rate variability, which is a positive thing, and increased energy. Next slide. So the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy Guides, which is the group that I trained with in order to be a forest therapy guide, provides suggestions for doing a forest therapy walk. And if you're interested at all in this and you have your cell phone handy and you want to take a picture of the next couple of slides, it'll be kind of your own how to do a forest therapy walk. So the first piece is to be mindful. Your intention should be to connect with nature in a meaningful way and think about your walk as an awe walk, where you take time to become aware of the small wonders in the world around you. Maybe going down a trail that you've gone unlimited times, but you're going to see things that you've never seen before. So you're looking with fresh, childlike eyes, and studies have identified that people who experience awe report less emotional stress, lower levels of body-wide inflammation, and an improved sense of well-being. So you're not trying to get anywhere, you're trying to be somewhere. You're trying to just be present wherever you are. And you're going to engage all of your senses. What are you noticing if you look through your eyes, listen with your ears, smell with your nose, reach out and touch the textures with your hands, taste the air with your mouth. And in the summertime, maybe there's even some berries, some blueberries or other watermelon berries, some kind of berry that you can taste out there. Go barefoot if you're a place you can go barefoot, sandy beach or a grassy stretch. You can feel the ground through your bare skin. Take your time and slow down. As I mentioned, the goal of forest bathing isn't physical fitness or distance or getting somewhere. Forest bathing walks normally only involve walking a mile or less and can take anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 to 4 hours. So the benefits of spending time in nature can occur within just a short 15-minute walk or a sit spot outdoors where you're just sitting on your deck or even sitting by a window where you can see the outdoors and see nature. Make it a habit. Forest bathing is a practice, much like yoga or meditation. Developing a meaningful relationship with nature occurs over time and is deepened by returning again and again throughout the natural cycles of the seasons. Be a good guest. Reciprocity is important forest bathing value. Expressing gratitude by picking up litter, expressing thanks to the forest by hugging a tree, leaving the forest a better place than where you found it, and working to preserve natural areas for future generations are all possibilities of expressing reciprocity. So in addition to height and size, green scenery, a variety of natural patterns, the sounds of streams and waterfalls, the negative ions released by moving water. I love to go by a waterfall or a place where there's a babbling brook or stream and the water's running over the rocks, because I just imagine all the oxygen that's being released, all the ions that are being released by that water and soaking them up. These are all reasons to bring awareness and mindfulness to our time in nature. Just be open and bring all of your senses with you to your walk. Next slide, Jane. So this is the do-it-yourself forest bathing. So again, this is in forest bathing, we say the forest is the therapist and the guide opens the doors or provides the invitation. And so this is an invitation, and this could be done as a very slow walk, or it could also be done as a sit spot, just finding a place outdoors to sit on a bench or a rock or the ground, or find a place to sit, a quiet, safe place to spend a few minutes. Quiet your mind, close your eyes if you're comfortable and you're a place where you're comfortable closing your eyes, and take a few deep breaths just to become centered. For 15 minutes or however much time you have, use your senses to tune into this place. And as I mentioned, you can reach your arms out, and if there's something close by, a tree or the ground, how does this feel to your skin? Is there a breeze? What's the temperature? What's different as you turn your body around or as you reach out from side to side to different sides? Focus on your hearing, and you would be doing this much slower. I'm running through this really quickly, but you know, take up to 15 minutes or more to run through these. Sense of hearing, notice the sounds around you, close by, far away, louder, quieter, and sounds that might be interacting with each other, maybe birds calling out to each other. I mentioned opening your mouth and tasting the air. What flavors are floating on the air? Sense of smell, breathe through your nose. What do you smell? Breathing through your nose. And it's interesting to see how your sense of taste and your sense of smell work together or not. Turn to a new direction and open your eyes as if you're seeing this place for the first time. What are you noticing now? Next slide, Jane. Oh, maybe. Is there next slide? Maybe not. Oh yeah, there we go. I knew there was a closing slide. In closing, in addition to everything we've already talked about, these are benefits of walking. So 2 hours a week. So that's 7 into 2 hours, you know, it's not a whole lot of time. 2 hours a week can reduce your risk of stroke by 30%. 40 minutes, if you got that much time, 40 minutes 3 times a week protects your brain, the part of your brain associated with planning and memory. 30 minutes a day can reduce symptoms of depression by 36% without ingesting any kind of drug. That's a good thing. 3,500 steps a day lowers risk of diabetes by 29%. 75 minutes of brisk walking a week can add 2 years to your life. 1 hour a day can cut your risk of obesity in half. 4 hours a week can reduce a risk of hip fracture by up to 43%. That's one I think about. And 30 to 60 minutes a day lowers the risk of heart disease. And these are all statistics from Canada. Canada Walks did a study a few years ago, and this is what they identified. And so I invite you to get out in nature and move. And I have one closing quote from Deepak Chopra that came across my desk this week. Wherever you go in the midst of movement and activity, carry your stillness within you. Then the chaotic movement around you will never overshadow your access to the reservoir of creativity and the field of pure potentiality. So go move, get out and move, and in the midst of movement, carry your stillness within you. And I think that's it, Jane, for me. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. And I invite you all to get out in nature and most of all, just move. Find some way to move every day. Get your body moving. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Linda. That was incredible. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, all I have to do is walk behind the houses on the other side of the street and I'm there.
Yep, we're lucky here in Juneau. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We certainly are. Well, Kathy is going to speak next. Hi, Kathy. I'll just turn it over to you.
Hi, how are you? Wow, everything that Jane just said speaks to me so deeply, and it speaks to me about the habit I have of exercise and walks. And I don't know if you can see my dog, but she's part of my health. She gets me out there, and I take time to appreciate what I see and what I hear and I smell. I get her walk out, and then we spend some time together just sitting there forest bathing. And it speaks so much to what I teach with Tai Chi. The same things apply, the same slow, smooth movement, mindfulness, taking time. So Tai Chi, or Tai Chi Chuan, is the ancient name, Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi is a kind of an Americanized name for Tai Chi. It originated in ancient China, and it's been around for thousands and thousands of years. It's a martial art with great depth and nuance. It's easy to learn in a small space and delivers great health benefits, just like forest bathing. The degree of exertion is easily adjusted to fit your fitness and lifestyle. It's kind of like a big, calm, gentle river flowing smooth on top with an immense current and power underneath. This is your chi, your QI, your life force energy that runs through you. And through Tai Chi and Qigong, you can increase that life force energy as you practice Tai Chi and Qigong. There are different types of Tai Chi. The oldest and most dynamic form is Chen style. They are now starting to adopt Chen style for people that aren't as able to do these big sweeping leg sweeps and motions. And it's it can be adapted to a nice, gentle practice. So I'm excited about that. The Yang style is the most popular. You heard of the Yang 24 or Yang 48. And I guess they practice this a lot down south. It's what you see people practice in the parks. Not many people practice Tai Chi in the parks here in Juneau, but I'd be interested in a combined Tai Chi forest bathing sometime. Wouldn't you think that'd be fun?
Mm-hmm.
So Tai Chi has a bunch of internal and external principles to be mindful of. The external principles are a nice upright body posture, moving slowly, smoothly, and continuously against a gentle resistance, and specific weight transfer to help with balance. The internal principles are song, relax your joints, jing, focus your mind, and how, H-O-U, is a general understanding of bringing those all together. With regular practice, you can increase flexibility, strength, and cardiovascular fitness without a lot of impact to your joints because you're using that weight transfer to be specific and non-impact. Matter of fact, if you wear a step counter and practice Tai Chi for hours, you go nowhere. And that's kind of discouraging sometimes. You don't count your steps. Anyways, I wanted to address what Linda said about getting up every few minutes during your time at your desk and maybe even shake. Well, that's known in the world of Qigong as a way to mobilize your energy, increase your energy and your awareness, and it also increases your immunity, and it's actually called shaking. So that's kind of fun that coordinates really well with what you were talking about. Let's see. By focusing on those internal and external principles and moving with grace and poise and concentration, the mind achieves that empty clarity with which Linda spoke with about what you can achieve outside. There's so many parallels here. Tai Chi benefits yourself personally when you practice with anxiety, arthritis and joint stiffness, balance and coordination, fatigue and muscle tension, posture and stress. The health benefits, the medical health benefits are astounding and noticeable within just a few weeks of practicing Tai Chi. It can help alleviate arthritis pain and keep you moving. It helps with low bone density. So somebody with osteopenia can practice with relative safety, and osteoporosis too. Cancer patients, especially breast cancer patients, can benefit from regular Tai Chi practice. Heart disease, heart failure, high blood pressure, it is proven to lower your high blood pressure by 3 to 22 millimeters of mercury in the blood pressure cuff, in the systolic, the top number of your high blood pressure. It helps with Parkinson's disease, sleep problems, and post-stroke therapy. So there are so many benefits for that, for Tai Chi. And I'm not the greatest public speaker, and that's okay because I am good at leading people through some Tai Chi. So maybe if, wow, we got a lot of time. Jane, how much time would you like for me to lead people through Tai Chi?
I think it would be great if you could take maybe 15 minutes and then we still have some time for question and answer.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to do it from the chair because I don't want to teach too many specific foot placements. I think we're here just to, I want to achieve a sense of balance and a sense of calm in your mind and a sense of meditation, reduced anxiety. So I'm going to move my chair back and I'm going to move my dog. Come on, move. Come on, you need to move. Move. You want to go outside? Would you like to go outside? No? Okay. I'm going to adjust my view so I can see everybody and see me and what I'm doing and how my camera is adjusted. So, okay. And adjust my camera. Sorry about that. I thought it was already adjusted up perfectly, but there we go. We're going to start off with a traditional Chinese greeting. We have our right fist together is strength, internal strength. And 4 fingers together on the left hand is friendship. Pull the thumb in for humility. Place the right fist in the left palm. Bring your legs together. Gentle nod as a greeting of mutual respect. As we sit in our chair, we're going to lift from the crown of the head. Turn the tailbone under slightly. Drop your shoulders. A nice golden Tai Chi posture. Straight line from the ceiling to the floor. We're going to start by matching our breath to our motion. And we're going to inhale the backs of the hands up. Exhale, leading with the wrists. The hands come back down. We're going to do this a few times and let me talk you through some belly breathing. As you inhale, try to drop your breath into your belly, expanding, bypassing the diaphragm. Exhale, I want you to squeeze that belly button into the spine and lift from the pelvic floor. Inhale up. Exhale, compress, lift from the pelvic floor. By engaging these deep core stabilizers as you exhale, you are creating internal strength that will match well with your enhanced chi. Adding on, we're going to inhale the backs of the hands up, turn the palms towards the chest, push towards the chest. Turn them away from the face and push out. As your hands come down, follow them with your gaze, nodding your chin to your chest. Inhale, bring your gaze up. Palms towards the chest. Push out. Exhale and your chin comes down as your hands come down. This time as we come up, as we push in, lift from the crown of the head. Push out. And down, completely emptying your breath as long as possible. Inhale up. Lift from the crown of the head. Exhale, out and down, following your hands with your gaze, nodding your chin. Next exercise, we're going to come up. We're going to turn the left hand towards your face, the right hand's flexed by your leg. Look out across the room over your fingertips as you open up. to 70% of your normal range of motion, you're going to come back. Change hands. Looking out over the right fingertips, turn your neck to 70% of its normal range of motion. So as we cross our hands, the center of your palm comes together, all the meridians in your upper body. You're exchanging energy and enhancing the energy flow of your chi, QI. These points are called low gong points, and they talk to each other a lot during Tai Chi and Qigong. Change hands. And come back to center. One thing I did forget to say in our little talk, this type of Tai Chi is called Sun style Tai Chi, which incorporates a lot of Qigong in it to enhance the relaxation and the building up of your energy. We're going to turn our palms up in front of our lower abdomen. This is called the lower dantian, the storehouse of your energy. We're going to inhale our hands up to our eyebrow level, and exhale, pretend you're pushing a beach ball under the water. Turn the palms up. Inhale, nice, slow, long, dropping it to the belly. Exhale, down. Moving slowly and continuously, we're going to inhale up good energy from the earth. We're going to put it down and store it inside of us. And the hands come down by your side. Shake it out. Using these low gong points, we're going to line them up, holding one hand in front of our heart, which is called the middle dantian, one hand in front of our lower dantian, the lower abdomen. Palms are speaking to each other. I want you to envision you're holding a warm golden ball of light. You're going to take this inside hand, bottom hand inside, right at your forehead. Turn it towards the ceiling. The other hand's flexed by your thigh. Lift through the crown of the head, turn the tailbone under. Inhale your hands back together. The palms talk. Feel the energy. Change hands. Turn your palms up at your forehead and palm down. This is called separating heaven and earth. It's also a stretch within the vertebra of your spine, warming up your spine. Separating heaven and earth. Lift from the crown of the head. Turn the tailbone under. Inhale and gather energy. Exhale, put it out to the heavens and put it out down to the earth. Inhale, change hands. Notice how when you exhale and lift from the crown of the head and turn the tailbone under, that you engage your abdominals, your deep core stabilizers. Taking care not to lift that arm too high. And we're going to come back, holding that golden ball of light. I want you to turn towards the top arm. When your bottom hand is near your inner thigh, you're going to change hands. A gentle rotation of the spine. Inhale, gather, and change hands. Exhale as you come across the body. Matching the movement to the breath slows you down so that you take time. Inhale and change. Exhale, come across. Last one. And the hands come down. Okay, we're going to work on a couple of seated Tai Chi forms. We're going to hold our hands in front of our face. Let's practice our breathing. This is called open and close. This movement is one movement in my teaching that I come back to all the time. And this movement matched with the breath has such deep, deep meaning and so much power to help calm your nerves, settle your mind, and focus your intentions. So imagine as you breathe in, you're pulling out taffy. As you exhale, you're pushing against a ball. You may feel a warm glow in your hands or not. So we're going to bring those hands out and down. Relax the shoulders. Lift from the crown of the head. Focus your intentions on moving slowly, smoothly, and continuously. We're going to inhale those arms up with our palms facing each other, leading with the wrist at chest level. You're going to lead with the wrist down and pull your elbows into your side. Engage your abs, push down to the floor with one leg, lift one leg, put it down, lift the other leg, put it down. Bring those hands up alongside your torso, out at heart level. Drop the elbows, lift the fingertips, open and close for 3. Just take our hands out and down. That was the commencement form. We're going to do it again. We're going to inhale the hands up with the palms facing each other. Leading with the wrist, exhale to our elbows are 90 degrees at the waist. Brace with your abs, push into the floor, lift one leg. Push into the floor with that leg, lift the other leg. Bring your hands up along the torso, out at chest level. Drop the elbows, lift the fingertips, open and close. Do that again, 2 more times. Holding our hands here, turn your body to one side of the room, your complete torso. Hands come out away from the face, the thumbs face each other. Make sure your elbows are heavy and your shoulders are soft. We're going to open up, turning our torso to the other side of the room, looking over the fingertips. This is called single whip. Let's come back together. Again, turn your body to one corner of the room. Hands come out, soft elbows, soft shoulders. Turn the palms away from your face. Open up, looking over the fingertips. Holding right here, we're going to bring one hand underneath the elbow. Change hands. Move those hands across the body. This is wave hands and clouds. Change hands. Move it across the body. Now, be mindful, I am moving with my torso and not my arms or my waist. My body is moving my arms. I'm staying well within the frame of my body. We're just changing and exhale. Inhale, change. Exhale, come across. Let's think about how we engage our legs. Change hands. Push down with the leg under the elbow, the hand that's up. Change hands. Push down with your other leg as you come across. And change. One more time. This is a Qigong movement. And we're going to come back to open and close. 2 more times with open and close. Close form. And relax your arms. Okay, let's rub our hands together. We're going to place them back on our kidneys and give our kidneys a little bit of love. This stimulates the kidneys. This warms the kidneys. And this helps transmit your fluids, your body fluids, your lymph nodes. Okay, we're going to bring our hands over and hold them over our lower dantian, which is our lower abdomen. Trying to tune into the breath again. We're going to open up our hands and have our fingers talk to each other. Pretend like there's a magnetic force pulling the fingers apart, loosening your joints. Sawing your joints is loosening your joints. Let them come apart a little bit and come in as you exhale. I'm going to take you through a Qigong movement. It's really a good shoulder opener, but it's also nice to think about it this way. Take one hand, open it up, look back to your past. Turn the back of your hand forward and bring that past forward. Release it to the earth. Turn and present light to the heavens. Come in, you're going to drag that hand across your waist, and then you're going to come up and draw a big half of a heart, bringing that palm facing the lower abdomen. On the other side, you're going to open up, look back at your past. Take from your past what doesn't serve you anymore, back of the hand forward. Release it to the earth. Turn your palm up to the heaven. Bring in gratitude and love. Surround yourself with a great big heart. I just kind of didn't do a heart with that arm. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right, focus. We're going to open up both hands. So you're going to keep your gaze forward. Open them up to the back. Turn the backs of the palms together like you're jumping. Bring them up. Release to the earth what doesn't serve you. Turn your palms up. Bring them in along the waistline. And now you can come in, draw a big heart around you, surrounding yourself with your protective Wei Qi field and your aura. Let's do that again, starting with one side. Open up and look back. Take from the past what doesn't serve you, bring it forward. Release it. Take the health that you need. Draw a big heart around. Bring that hand back into your abdomen. Feel its power, feel its strength. Open up to the back of the room, to your past again. Turn the palm, back of the palm forward, bring it forward. Release it to the earth. Represent it to the heavens. Bring it around and draw a great big half a heart. Somehow my left arm doesn't want to do that. Okay. Both hands open up to the back. Bring it forward. So powerful. Release it to the earth. Talk to the heavens. There's a lot of meridians here on your belt meridian, helping the kidneys, drawing that heart around, bringing that power, energy, and storing it into your lower abdomen. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. So we'll do one more Qigong movement. We are in the winter month, and it is a yin month, yin versus yang. And the element is water, and the animal is the bear. So we are going to feed the big bear fish. Turning our palms up, we're going to lift to the heart. Exhale, push away. Inhale, gather, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale, push. Bring it in. We'll add on. Inhale, gather, exhale, push. Bring those arms behind. You're going to inhale, you're going to scoop up that big fish from the water, and you're going to exhale and store that nutrition inside of you. Palms turn up, inhale to the heart, exhale, push. Swim through the waters, hands come behind, scoop up the fish. Put the nutrition inside of you. One more time. Inhale up, exhale, push. Swimming the hands back behind, scooping the big fish from the water. Exhaling it down inside. Holding our hands over our lower abdomen. And focusing on our posture. Feeling that glow of energy around you. I'm really not sure how long we've gone, but I'm going to take you through this again. We're going to start with a commencement form. We're going to relax our hands. I want you to just flow through gently, and then we will close this out. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms to the waist. Push into the floor, lift one leg. Push into the floor, lift the other leg. Hands up alongside the torso, out at the chest level. Drop the elbows, lift the fingertips. Open and close 3 times. Feel that energy through your palms. With the palms towards each other, turn your body to one corner of the room. Turn the palms away from you. Open up, looking over one set of fingertips. Bring that hand under, the other hand underneath that elbow. Change hands, wave hands in clouds 3 times each side. Change hands. Change hands. Looking out over the fingertips, empty gaze. Coming back to open and close. 2 more times. Last one. Turning your body to the other corner of the room. Hands come away from the face, open up. Look out over the fingertips as you open up to the other side of the room. Bring that other hand underneath the elbow. Change hands in a nice gentle circular motion and exhale as you come across. Keeping the shoulders heavy, the elbows heavy, so there's not tension in your neck. One more time each side. We're going to come back to open and close. One more time. Hands come out, down, lift from the crown of the head. Okay. We're going to tap our thighs 3 times each side. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit of a closing. In Tai Chi, or in Qigong specifically, they do these tapping and cupping routines, which if a person is chair bound, it helps get the lymph nodes moving. It helps get your just your blood moving, and it's a nice way to wake up. So that Qigong tapping and cupping is really nice. We're going to take our hands down. We're going to gather energy from the earth. Coming up onto the tippy toes, crossing the hands at the heart, tension. Exhale, release that tension. Feel the relaxation, let it flow. Inhale, gather and tense up. Exhale, relax. One more time, inhale, gather and tense up. And exhale, relax. We're going to bring down the heavens 3 times. Hands up in front of your lower abdomen. Inhale and gather that beautiful energy from the earth. And store it inside, relax. Inhale up. Exhale, sink that energy. One more time. Crossing our hands at the webs of the thumb, Stacking your hands, putting it over our lower dantian, closing your eyes. We're going to slide our hands along the belt meridian, down along the sides of the thighs to the knees. Give your knees a gentle rub. Relax. And we'll end with a closing. Right fist, left palm, and fingers pulled in. I hope that all gave you a sense of Tai Chi and Qigong in a short little session. I hope you found that calmness, that mental clarity. Very good. Any questions?
Kathy, that was wonderful.
Oh,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Any comments people have and or questions? I'd like to ask people, what kinds of things are you doing to care for yourself? Have you been doing over the last year? Anything that you found that's been particularly beneficial you'd like to share?
Hi, Jane. It's Madeline.
Hi, Madeline.
And one of the things that I went back to, which I hadn't done in a long time, was to play golf during the summer. And it was something we could do social distance wise and depending upon what the situation was without a mask. And normally in the winter, I spend time riding a stationary bicycle, which, as most of you know, if you've ever done it, it can be very boring. But what I've switched out for that is from pushing the cart all summer up and down, little hills and knolls and things on the golf course, I've taken to walking at least 3 miles a day, depending on whether I go down by the creek or out on the flats in the neighborhoods. But the walking has replaced the stationary bike, and I find it to be really good for my core, between my hips and my traps, my legs, and then the core. So that's what I've been focusing on this winter and throughout the last year.
Thank you, Madeline.
Yeah.
Others?
Yeah, Jane, it's Eileen.
Uh-huh.
It was just about a year ago that I got on a daily Zoom with my daughter here in Juneau and my 3 sisters who live in Washington State. And we chose a book called The Daily Stoic. And so we meet for about 20 minutes every day and we read the daily reading, and then we all opine. We find that we all have strong opinions, but we also get into conversations about families, friends, interests. And so we've really been able to connect in a much more intimate way than we thought through Zoom. And it's been wonderfully reassuring as we talk each other through little situations that arise and worries we have and things we've learned. So if we can't see each other in person, Zoom is a very nice alternative at this point.
Great. Thanks, Eileen.
Mm-hmm.
This is Marcia.
Hi, Marcia.
And many of you know music is just very important to me. I'm a music therapist and I must have music in my life. So when the pandemic hit, I sought a virtual chorus that was looking for singers. And the only one I could find early on was the New York City Gay Men's Chorus. So I joined, which is very humorous. I don't live in New York. I'm not gay and I'm not a man, but I sang for a whole semester with the New York City Gay Men's Chorus. There were about 12 sopranos who joined. It was just wonderful. But then when the San Diego Women's Chorus opened up to virtual singers, I switched over. So I'm now singing with the San Diego Women's Chorus and singing with women, which is fits my vocal range much better than the gay men did, but both have been incredible experiences.
Nice.
Mhm. Thanks, Marcia. Who else would like to share?
I will. One of the things that I didn't mention, but that reminded me, the singing reminded me, and I've been reading a lot lately about how singing is not only an important therapy, but an important wellness strategy. But so in Juneau, we've continued folk dancing on Sunday nights. And so we used to folk dance every Sunday night down at the Juneau Club downtown. And exactly a year ago, last Sunday, we went virtual. And there's anywhere from 8 to 15 of us who join in anywhere from Guam to Florida to New York. And so it's expanded our reach. So much like joining a choir, somewhere, wherever in the world, we've been able to open up our world to a much broader group of people. And we've so much so that we've talked about how we're going to manage when we can go back meeting in person and dancing in person again, because we'll lose half of our participants unless we figure out a way to Zoom at the same time we dance in person. So both singing and dancing are both just really, really important ways, additional ways to maintain both mental and physical health and well-being. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Linda. I know one of the things that I do, I belong to a 12-step program, and having gone virtual over the last year has been very exciting for the same type of reason. We had 2 members that left the state over the last 5 years. They've been able to rejoin us. So it's been so wonderful to be able to connect with them. But we've also picked up people from around the world, Australia, Germany, and throughout Alaska. So it's been really, really fun. To be able to connect that way. And then, as I said earlier, I have 2 groups, as well as my family group, 2 social groups that we get together. And it's been one of my groups is a breakfast group. And unfortunately, we've lost 2 of our members, not from COVID, but from cancer over the last year. So it's been especially important that we stay connected and together. Anybody else would like to share? We've got a couple of minutes left. No? Well, I really appreciate Linda and Kathy being able to share their expertise with us. I also want to give a big shout out and thank you to Eileen Hosey, who's online, and Sue Nielsen, who are the planning committee to put this together. And I want to let you know that we will be scheduling more of these, probably about every quarter to 4 or 5 months. And we have a list of topics. If you are interested in being a part of this, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'm going to put my email address in the text box if I can get to it.
While you're doing that, Jane, I'll just say thank you to Jane for being our most efficient MC and making everything run smoothly today. That was great. I really appreciate it. And it was wonderful not worrying about that side of it. So that was terrific.
Great. Thanks, Linda. And anybody who's interested in being a part of the Juneau AARP Community Action Team, we are always looking for more folks and are interested in having your input and perspective joining our group. And once again, you can use my email address to get in touch with me.
Okay.
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Definitely. Yeah. Thanks very much. That was
Thanks,
terrific.
everybody.
It was a pleasure. It was really fun. Thank you for offering me this opportunity to present this to all of
Kathy,
you.
that was great. It was terrific.
Yeah. Both
I
of
love
you.
the way our things kind of parallel.
I do too, and we'll have to figure out a way to do something jointly. That would be really great.
Be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Have
everyone
a
have a wonderful day. Thanks for
Likewise.
joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.